else. I'm so sorry. I just had a big goof, and the link that I provided for my live tonight, I don't know what happened because I missed the scheduled time, and so now I couldn't figure out how to start it from that link that I shared. So I'm gonna go in here real quick into YouTube and try to share this so that people know where to find me. I messed that up completely. So give me 1 second. I gotta share this with the other group now. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. Okay, so hopefully people start filtering over. That's totally my fault. I just messed up, and once I guess that live starts, I could not figure out how to get into it, and so now I got to go into something completely different. We'll give people a minute to flip over here. Oh, that was totally my fault. I'm all flustered now trying to figure all that out. How is your day going? Oh my goodness. Okay, so hopefully people are seeing it. Hi, Diana. Thanks so much for joining me. Yeah, I was getting everything ready, writing things down, and then I looked up and the time had already passed. And once it passed, I could not figure out how to get into it. So it looks like people are starting to find me over here. Okay, good. I'll just delete that other one. I feel so silly about that. Oh well, it happens. That's all right. But we have a really cool project today. You guys know I love Halloween. I've been trying to come up with all kinds of like Halloween treat holders. I actually found Halloween candy in the store today. It's starting to slowly trickle into the stores. I went to Dollar General and was able to find quite a bit, actually. Oh, let me turn the volume off here so I don't hear myself. Well, Mom, my live would have started, but I waited till after the start time. So that's why I couldn't figure out how to get into it, because it's scheduled. And I guess once you go past that scheduled time, it doesn't just pop up on my phone. So that's why I couldn't get into it. And I was sitting there for like 5 minutes going back and forth trying to figure it out before finally I said, forget it. So I'll be more aware of the time next time. But yeah, so back to school stuff is starting to trickle out of the stores. They're starting to clearance it out. I went to Walmart before I picked Ethan up from school because they have one down the street from his school, and they were already like it looked like they were discounting things and like taking things off the racks and starting to put fall and Halloween stuff up. Yeah, Diana, we had Hobby Lobby stuff, or Christmas stuff at Hobby Lobby for months. It's been there. I haven't been in a little while. I'm kind of scared to go because I'm sure it's probably all over the place. But it's good for people that plan ahead or do events or things like that. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, hey, Jen from Maryland, a fellow Jen from Maryland. I used to live in Maryland. I miss it this time of year because all the leaves and the cool weather. It just finished raining here. It was like pouring down rain. I looked up and all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere. But yeah, so stores are starting to get a little bit of Halloween stuff. So that's good because it can help me. I've got lots of treat holder ideas. For those of you that do craft fairs, or maybe you just like to make them for your kids or grandkids or pass them out to neighbors. A lot of times the treat holders that I have left over, I take to my nail lady or my hair lady. The lady that does my hair, she's got a son and a daughter that are her son is about a year younger than Ethan, and her daughter's like in elementary school. So a lot of times they bring extra of those and she gives them to her kids or something. They love it. So, Lots of fun. Okay, so let's get into a couple things. So don't forget, my mini catalog product shares are still open. You could sign up for those. You can sign up anytime up till September 3rd. I can't take payment until a week before I order all the products per Stampin' Up! Policy. So August 28th, I will send out the PayPal invoice for you to pay. You don't have to have PayPal to make a payment with PayPal. You just have to have a credit or debit card. It's very safe. If you don't feel comfortable doing that and you still want to sign up for a product share, you can always give me a call. You can mail me a check. That's fine. I just need to get it in my hands by September 3rd. Diana, yes, you should have these soon. I put myself on the list as a customer so that I will get a customer catalog, and I will let you guys know when mine comes so that you know to look for yours as well. I saw another demonstrator post that tip, so I'm on my own customer catalog list, so I have a better idea of when you guys will get them. But I will definitely send an email out when mine comes and post it on Facebook and all that when my customer catalog comes, hopefully within the next week or two. Let's see what else. I know a lot of you guys are probably waiting to actually see the catalog before you sign up for product shares. It always helps. What else? I am getting up very, very early to order the products. I will get up. It's funny, I actually did this when demonstrators could order from the mini catalog. I was up at 2 in the morning Eastern time when the pre-order began, and submitted my order as soon as I could. And I'm going to do the same thing for product shares. So as soon as we can order all that stuff, I will be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, ordering everything, making sure I can get everything as soon as possible for you guys to hopefully avoid any delays or back orders or anything. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of paper and embellishments sell out. So that's why I will be up as soon as that window opens so that I can get that in and hopefully get that to you guys without any delay, fingers crossed. If something does go on back order, it will be delayed slightly, but I watch that like a hawk. So as soon as it becomes available, I will order it. So, and my mom's really good about checking stuff and letting me know too. Sometimes she knows before I do and sends me a message. So I've got my team, my backup to help me out too. Okay. Oh, and then the designer series paper sale is still going on now through the end of the month. You can get 15% off select designer series papers from the annual catalog. And don't forget, if you earned bonus days coupons in July, you can you can redeem them on an order now through the end of August. So don't forget to redeem those. So that's like free stuff that you can get. So you don't want to forget about those. Okay. Yep, that's basically all I have. I've got, yeah, that's all I have for today. I'm working on some stuff that I will announce soon. I've got some Christmas crafty things that I'm working on. I hope to have that information within the next week or so. So stay tuned. Hopefully next week I'll have all the details for you. I was working on that a lot today. Okay, so let's get the camera turned around here. I know you'll miss my pretty face, but there we go. I'm always afraid I'm gonna hang up on you guys, so that's why it always takes me a second. Oh goodness. All right, so this is the cute little treat holder. Da, da, da. So my granddaughter loves Squishmallows. I don't know if you guys know what Squishmallows are. They're like really, really soft, fluffy stuffed animals. And I was looking up ideas, trying to come up with something that's like every day that you could use for Halloween. And I Googled like devil cow or something, and Squishmallows, that brand, they have a devil cow. I was going to print out a picture and I completely forgot about it. But if you just Google like Squishmallow cow devil or something, it looks a lot like this. He's got the purple with the gray spots and then like the little horns. I colored red to be like a little devil costume or a devil headband. I thought that was cute. And then I saw this treat holder on Pinterest. I just happened to, I happened to see it when I was scrolling through Pinterest, and I thought, this is so cool. So look how this opens, you guys. It has this little like triangle flap thing going on here. And then this fits quite a bit of candy. I've got 2 layers of this candy in here. And then on the inside, we did Happy Halloween. You could put whatever little message you want in there. Oh, your grandson loves Squishmallows. Yeah, my nephew does too. They're just so fluffy. It reminds me of that little girl on the Minions when she gets the unicorn. It's so fluffy. They're so soft. It's so cute. I will say, so these are like, I think the fun size Twix would fit in here too, but these have purple on them and my package is purple. I like to kind of coordinate it as best I can. So when you put the candy in, don't put it up straight. Don't put it in this way, straight up and down. I had trouble closing it because the little wrapper kind of gets stuck on these flaps. So put it sideways and that way it's flush against those sides and your flap won't get stuck on the candy packaging there, okay? So, but yeah, I was able to get, these are about fun size. So if you had like Twix, Butterfingers, anything fun size should fit in here. And I was able to kind of mix and match them and put them in. But yeah, if you put them in this way, then that little wrapper thing gets stuck there. So we don't want to do it. I mean, you can kind of mess with it, but it's a pain. It's easier to do it the other way. Okay. So, and if you've ever had these are really good actually. I like all the flavored Kit Kats. I know some people say it's like sacrilege. You should only, they're very purist and like just the regular Kit Kats, which is fine, but I like most of the flavored ones. Okay, so let's make the box first actually, and then we'll do the decorating, okay? So let's do that. So this actually uses almost a whole piece of fresh freesia cardstock here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. We'll kind of keep that in the corner so you can see him. And all right. So we are going to take our cardstock, and with the short side at the top here, we are going to cut this. We're going to make it 7 inches wide. So we take that little arm extender out, and then at that 7-inch mark, we line it up and cut. And remember, oops, remember on your paper trimmer, the light gray is for scoring and the dark gray is for cutting. There's so many times I've cut when I meant to score and vice versa. I mean, scoring when you mean to cut isn't a big deal, but cutting when you should be scoring, that's a problem. All right. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. So you're just going to have this little strip. Save this for some other project. You don't need it. And then I am going to grab my, I'm going to have to move that for a second, my Simply Scored scoring tool here. Okay. So with the short side at the top, I'm going to move these because it's going to confuse you. They're just kind of in there. We're going to score this at, let's see, 1 inch. And I like to use this because I get deeper score lines, and I like to use the small end of the stylus. It just, it glides better for me. I've heard somebody say you could put wax paper on here and kind of go over the little grooves here with your stylus tip, and that wax from the wax paper will help it glide easier too if you ever have trouble with that. But I usually don't have an issue, but I'm curious to try that trick. I think that's a cool trick. All right, so on the short side here, we're going to score at 1 inch, 2 inch, 5 inch, and 6 inch, or you could do 1 and 2 and flip it. But if you just want to keep the paper the same, which is what I'm going to do, we're just going to do 1 inch, 2 inches, 5 inches, and 6 inches. And like I said, I got this from a German demonstrator. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. So all of her measurements were metric, and I changed it to imperials for those of us in North America. But it's very easy. They're all inch increments, so very easy to measure. So on the long side here, we're going to score at 3 inches, 4 inches, 7 inches, and 8 inches. And this piece here is 11 inches wide. So again, I just did 3 inches, 4, 7, and 8, okay? And I have this little template that will be in my tutorial that you'll see all the measurements and where we're gonna cut it away, and we're gonna make little score lines too, okay? So don't worry, you don't have to follow it along right now. Okay. So with that, we see here in my little template, we've got to make little score lines here. So we can go ahead and do that now, actually. I'm gonna get my ruler. Where did I put it? My poor ruler. I definitely need a new ruler. It's like coming apart, and I feel like this thing is so old. I don't even know how long I've had this thing. All right, I'm gonna keep my little stylus tool here. But basically, for this piece, so these 2 end pieces here, we're gonna score, okay? And we're just gonna go from the bottom left to the top right. We're gonna score both of those in the same direction, okay? So what I always like to do is take my stylus and kind of put it in the corner down here and hold my ruler down, and that's how you get that good spacing. And then you can kind of shift this other edge of your ruler, and then I like to hold my ruler against where the stylus is in that, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're gonna put our stylus in that groove where that score line is and put our ruler right up against it and then hold that piece in place. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna put that little stylus in the groove in the corner and move the ruler against it. And now they should be about in the same place. You might have to adjust them a little bit, but that's how you kind of know it's gonna be even. You just kind of test that. And then you can go down. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just kind of helps, okay? The rulers are 50 cents at Walmart. I should go get one since it's all back to school stuff. I should figure that out, right? And then this should be about there. And we'll just score that with our little stylus from the Simply Scored, or you could use your bone folder. And it might be, mine's a little off, but when we fold it, it's gonna be fine. So I just wanted to kind of show you how to line it up a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my handy dandy little template here, and we're gonna do some cutting. So all of these, we need to cut where the little tabs are up to that second score line. So it doesn't matter. We're gonna do this all the way. And I'm just using some long edge scissors, okay? And I like to do this before I fold and burnish, because I find once you fold and burnish, the paper edges kind of bend a little bit, and I want everything to be nice and crisp. So I'm just gonna kind of do this now before we fold it so that the edges where we cut aren't all curly, if that makes sense. Okay, so all 4 of those we cut up to that second score line. Now, on both sides, it's gonna be the same, okay? We're going to, on this bottom left hand, we're gonna get rid of these 2 tabs right here, and then this tab and this little block right there. So if you want, if it's easier for you, it doesn't matter, you can just take like a pencil and mark them so you know which ones to cut away. Oops, not that one. Or if you're gonna save them and use them for scrap, don't do that, but I'll probably just throw them away. I'm not gonna use them again. Okay, so that helps me sometimes to make sure I'm not gonna cut something that I shouldn't. So we're just going to, and it's hard to see with that light, there we go. I'm gonna cut all those. And then this little one, I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna cut here. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing, because we're just gonna take this and we're gonna rotate it 180 degrees. So same thing. We're gonna get rid of these, just like our template, down here in that big box, okay? So gone, gone, gone. So we'll start by cutting those little tabs here. We'll cut up to that second score line. Do you guys make treat holders for people for Halloween? Does anybody do that? I like to make them. I just think they're fun to make, but if you guys make them, that would be nice to know. I hope you do. I hope you decide to make these for somebody. Okay, we're gonna cut away that corner. We're gonna cut away this corner and this little tab here. Okay, so we've got all those little pieces. So this is what it looks like, kind of like a little puzzle piece almost. Get rid of all my little scraps here. Okay, so we want to kind of what they call mitering, where you kind of make a little angled edge on all these little tabs, and that just makes everything. We can do regular scissors now. I like to use those long bladed scissors when I have big sections to cut, but for this I'll just use the little paper snips. So mitering is just kind of angling those tabs just to make everything kind of flow a little bit better. You make them for your mom's floor mates. Oh, that's so nice. I feel like people, once they know you make little treat boxes, they're like, they get really excited, which is a good thing. That's a very good thing. So this big section in the center, we're just gonna do this top piece right here. And actually, you may need to trim this a little bit too, and I'll show you why in just a second, but we won't worry about that right now. But we're just gonna keep mitering all these little tabs. Okay, we'll do this like that. This is quite the box. I thought this was so cool though when I saw it on Pinterest. I was like, and I will have a link in my blog post for her project. She used, what was that berry set from Celebration a couple years ago with the pretty berry paper. Hers was really, really cute, which is probably why I loved it so much when I saw it on Pinterest. I was like, wow, that's so cool. But it was really pretty. Hers is a good one for spring. It was really nice. I feel like a lot of the German demonstrators have really neat boxes that people wouldn't normally think of. Okay, oops. So these little score lines here, we're actually gonna fold these up and we're gonna kind of meet them in the corner here. And then I'm gonna take my bone folder and kind of push against that little score line. We just want it to meet so it's kind of even here, because we're actually going to glue this together. We're folding it and it's going to kind of reinforce everything. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to turn it. We're going to fold it so it meets that corner and then kind of push that paper back so that it's kind of even in that box there. Okay. So that's going to end up getting glued down. And then we can go ahead and fold and burnish all of this stuff here. Now that we're done, for the most part, we're done cutting. We got to do a little bit more, and I'll show you in just a second what we got to do. We're just going to fold all these up. Okay. And then fold the other direction. Okay, almost there. Okay, so what's gonna happen is we are actually gonna take these, I'm gonna fold these back a little bit so you can kind of see, but we're gonna take these little tabs here, we're gonna fold them in, and we're gonna put liquid glue on the back of these, and then they're gonna go on the inside here, okay? And then what's gonna happen is this piece, this little top flap here, is gonna end up folding over those tabs on the inside and just reinforcing the walls of this box, okay? Actually, I think I have it inside out. It should be this way, right? Well, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so yeah, let's do that first. Actually, I don't want to move too far ahead and confuse you. So the little tabs here, we're just gonna fold those over and apply some liquid glue. And I'm gonna go ahead and just do it on all four of them. Okay. And then, like I said, we're just gonna meet these up corner to corner. Whoops, try to hold it a little bit there. Let it dry, but just kind of meet that up. Same thing here. This little tab, we're gonna meet that up at the edge of the box. Hopefully you can see that. And the same thing on this side. I'm going to, it's a little awkward. You got to kind of fold that back, but you're going to put that tab up there and kind of meet it and hold it down in place. Let it kind of dry. Oops. You could use tear and tape if you want to. I feel like liquid glue has a stronger hold, so that's usually why I use liquid glue. And if you want to do one side first and then the other, like mine is coming apart on this side, I'm gonna kind of hold it a little bit. But yeah, I like to use liquid glue because it usually has a stronger hold than tear and tape here. So I'm gonna kind of hold that in place a little bit. And you can kind of wiggle it around, whereas with tear and tape, it's not very forgiving. Once you have it in a spot, you're pretty much stuck there. Okay, so we have, you can kind of see there, we've got our little flaps on the inside, right? You can kind of see, so that's glued in. And then these little pieces right here, we need to glue these down too, this little triangle. So this is just, again, that's just reinforcing the little flap here. I probably should have done that first. That would have been a little bit easier, but that's all right. And then we're gonna glue this one down. Just like that. Yeah, do that part first. Oh, that would have been a little bit easier, but that's all right. Okay, so then these little flaps, these are what is gonna go inside the box. Now, obviously you're looking at that, it's getting stuck. So what we need to do with these is we actually need to trim these down as well. And these you just kind of eyeball here. Like I'm gonna kind of take a good chunk, but you'll play with it and kind of decide how much you need to take off. It's still a little snug right there, so I'm actually gonna just angle it just a teeny bit more. And then that's pretty good right there, actually. Okay, and oh, well, we can glue these down too, but we'll just cut these first. These little flaps with the triangles. Let me glue this. So these little flaps in the box are just folded over. These are where those tabs are on the inside. So you're just reinforcing that side and covering those tabs. And it really does help make that box a little bit stronger there. And then we'll do that on the other side as well. I just want to use your fingers and kind of press that glue in place. Okay, and then we'll check our flaps here, see if everything is fitting. That one fits pretty good. And then this one does too. So that's good. So that's the basic box. It's almost like origami a little bit. But the big thing is just kind of playing with these little flaps here. And like I said, you got to kind of miter them off a little bit to make them close. So just kind of take a little bit at a time. And then once you get them, it will close completely. So that's pretty neat. This box measures 3 inches by 3 inches and it's an inch deep. Okay, so 3 by 3 by 1. But now we can decorate it. We've got that little box put together. Pretty cool. So now we're gonna take, let's see, what did I use here? So I've got the Neutrals Designer Series paper, and this has all kinds of different colors. This has Basic Gray, Blackberry Bliss, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, and Smoky Slate. Whew. And I think it's got the little circles with, I don't know what this pattern is on the back. It's kind of a cool pattern, but you've got two of each color. You've got two of the circles with that pattern, and then you've got two of the stripes with the little floral pattern on the back. Okay, so we're using basic gray. I think I still have one in here. I think this is the same one. Yep, that's the same shade. So that's the one we're going to use, and you'll use almost this whole sheet for this box. So this is not an easily mass-produced box. This is definitely a more special box for somebody that means a lot to you and that you want to take your time and make them something nice and cute. Okay. Maybe you could get them that devil cow squishmallow, and I might do that for my granddaughter. Actually, as much as she likes them, I thought that would be cute for her for Halloween, and then give her the little treat box to go with it. She'd probably go nuts. All right, so we need 2 squares that are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that's perfect. That's a little less than half of this 6 by 6 sheet. So we're gonna cut those out of one side. 2 3/4, 2 3/4. I've got this little strip left. It's going in the trash. I'm not gonna do anything with that. Okay, so we need those 2. And then we need a piece that's 2 7/8 inch wide by 7/8 inch. So I'm gonna do 2 7/8. And then I'm gonna do, again, anything that's less than an inch, I like to do on this side. So we're gonna do 7/8 on that side. And I need 4 pieces, and this is for the edges of the box. And one more. And you're left with this little piece out of that whole piece of paper. We use most of it, so get that little scrap for another project. All right, so this we can go ahead and I'm just gonna use seal for this, I think. But if you need some extra wiggle room, then by all means, definitely use glue, but I can usually use seal. Okay, and it's a lot quicker, so we'll just put that on real quick. Just like that. Does anybody have like a big neighborhood where a lot of kids come and do trick-or-treating? Our neighborhood, nobody comes where we live. Now granted, I live right outside of a big retirement community. There aren't a lot of families in our area, but we have had some people kind of like drive through our neighborhood, but nobody has ever, I think we had one kid 2 years ago that came and like knocked on the door. And luckily I always have a little bit of candy, but normally it's not very common in our area. Okay, so this one is gonna go on the inside here. So we're gonna put one on the inside. Okay. And I think my last one, I made it 2 7/8 if you wanna cover more of the inside. But for this one, I just decided to make it the same size. I probably should have done liquid glue for this. This would have been a little easier, but that's okay. Liquid glue for the inside. Oh, that's all right. We got it. It's a little off, but that's okay. Kids aren't gonna care. They're just gonna look at the candy. And then for this one, we're actually going to pop this up. I think I wanna put this like this. Yeah. So we're gonna pop that up with some dimensionals. But yeah, for that inside piece, liquid glue would probably be better so you can have a chance to move it around and make sure it's even. I just kind of threw that on there. That's all right though. Oops. There we go. And I'm gonna get one more on there actually. So while this is closed, I'll put this on. You don't want to put it right up to the edges because you are going to have that little bit of a border. So we'll just, but you do want it only on one flap because you want to be able to open it up. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. I did this sideways that way. You could do it really either way. As long as it's on one flap, it doesn't matter. I just thought about that. However you want it to open. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have it. Oh, that's kind of backwards, isn't it? No, I don't like that. Never mind. Hold on one second. Oh, goodness. I didn't think about that being flat. We're gonna just pop this off. That's all right. I don't think I have it stuck on there too much, and if I do, we can fix it. We can always fix it. I just realized I do want it to open a certain way. And actually, I think this is all gonna just come off on the paper, which would be awesome. Try not to tear it. Oh, very carefully. Ooh, that's not too bad. There we go. Because I want it to open like this. Or do I? I don't know. How do we want it to open? Why does that look backwards? Oh, I think I folded it different. That's so weird. Okay, anyway, we'll put this back on there. So it is gonna open, we'll have it open top ways like that. That's good. And did I get it? Oh, and I got the dimensionals back on. So this will open this way. I must have folded it inside out. That's all right. It doesn't matter as long as it opens. Okay, so you're gonna put that down. Now we have this little circle back here. So I'm actually gonna show you a quick trip. You would have glued it to both flaps, Mom? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. So this little circle comes from the Everyday Details dies. So this one I used this middle circle, which is really cool because it will die cut a circle on this part, and then it also die cuts all these little circles on your negatives. So if you wanted to use it for like a shadow card or something like that. So we're going to use this, and this circle measures 2.5 inches about. It's a little under 2.5. So if you don't have those dies and you want to use a circle punch or something, about 2.5 inches is what you'll need for a circle. Now I want to share, so I'm going to use the dryer sheet technique for this because I don't want to be poking all those little holes out, but I wanted to share too. So these dies are also good for the dryer sheet technique to be able to easily get them on and off of your paper without having all those little pieces that you have to poke out of the dies. And another one, these dies actually with all these little grooves, I was cutting them for a class recently and the paper really sticks in those grooves. So if you use the dryer sheet technique with this, it will also help you peel that off of all those little grooves because that paper gets stuck on all those pieces. And if you try to pop it out, like I was trying to pop it out with my fingernails and getting all these little impressions in the circle, and I hated it. I probably cut like 30 of them that I had to throw away because I was trying to poke them out with my nails and it was just messing all the pieces up. So we'll use that. So to do this technique, you just need some dryer sheets, a clean dryer sheet. So I'm just using Bounce. It makes your paper smell really nice too. Excuse me. And then I have a piece of basic gray. And what we're gonna do for this is we are gonna take, I actually am gonna use my mini machine. This fits nicely in here. So I use my number 3 plate, one of my cutting plates, and then I'm gonna take my little dryer sheet here and I can just fold it up and, try to make make it fit. There we go. So you're gonna put the dryer sheet down, then the paper, and then you're gonna put the dye on top of it, okay? And I'm gonna put a little bit of tape on there just to kind of hold it on the paper. And then we're gonna take our other cutting plate and put it on top. And get that to go through there. And now, when we take this off, you guys, this is the magic. All of those little pieces pop right out of there. You don't even have to poke them out. And same with your dye. I think there's like a couple in here, but not nearly as many as there would be if you didn't use the dryer sheet. There's still a couple. That's gonna happen, but you would be poking every single one of these out if you did it without that dryer sheet. So that's a really good tip. I hope you guys give it a try. And you can use them. Sometimes you can use like a little clean spot. Like if you were to move this up, you have a little clean spot down there to use it again. But I don't recommend, once you die cut it and you have all these impressions, putting another piece of paper in it and die cutting over it, because those little pieces that are left on the dryer sheet will leave an impression on your paper, and you don't want that. You'll just end up wasting the paper. So I'm gonna throw that away. So that's definitely something to try if you've never tried that one before. So we're gonna have that one there, and then we're gonna work on our cow, which is, so if you have your annual catalog here, on page 76, this cow stamp set and punch actually carried over. This is in that encore section in the annual catalog. So this is still a current product. That's what we're going to be using here. I've got my cute little punch and my stamp set right here. I've got all the stamps on the blocks and everything. I love this set so much. I think it's super, super cute. I've done a lot of projects with it. If you want to see the other projects, you can just go to stampcampwithjen.com and search Cutest Cows, and you'll see a bunch of them in there. And then that little Happy Halloween that I used for the inside is actually from the Potions and Spells stamp set. So that's what I used for the inside. You could use any sentiment that you have, but that's what I'm using. It is magic, isn't it? All right. So let's see. I've got another little tip for you guys today with my punch. Oh, here we go. So with any of these punches that have a bunch of different shapes in here, if you take a piece like this, so we're just going to take a white piece of, or a piece of basic white, and we're just going to punch that whole thing right here. Whew. Okay, so now we've got this little template that we can use, and I'm just going to cut this off actually real quick. So some people actually make like little templates for their punches, and they put them on a little like D-ring, which I think is a great idea. I need to sit down and do that. That's kind of where I got this idea from. But if you just punch it all out, then you can kind of lay this over your paper, and when you use the different images, you can punch right over that those little openings, and then when you go to punch it, it should all line up. So we're gonna try it. Nothing like trying it on camera, right? Actually, I'm gonna use basic gray. This will make it easier for you guys to see. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. I cut this basic gray piece out. Ooh. Because that's hard to see for you guys to see it white on white, I'm sure. So let's do that. So we're gonna put this, much better, right? So now you can see this is where it all needs to go. So let's take our tape and put it on our paper so it doesn't wiggle around, okay? And then let's get our Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're gonna stamp his head and line it up as best we can in here. Okay, that's pretty good, right? So there's one. And then this is the body, so we're gonna do that one next. All right, so here's try number 2. Luckily, these are photopolymer, so you can see them. It worked, yay! All right, and then this tiny little piece here, these are the little horns, and this actually goes right here where that little curved piece is, okay? So let's ink that up, and we'll just stamp this right here. Oh, that's a little off, that's okay. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'll just have to make note of that when I punch it, but look at that. So now we can take our little mask off here and try to punch this all up at once. I'm not going to worry about the horns as much. And actually, most of those go behind the head anyway. Oh, actually, look at that. The horns do match up right there. Miracles, yay! So we are going to punch all these out at once. Dun, da, da. Wow. See, I impress myself sometimes, you guys. Look at that. Those little pieces are gone. And then that's the horns. Oh, goodness. Now, if you don't know these other pieces, so this little piece on the side here is for the snout. You can just punch it and make the little snout on top of, like if you were to just punch them all and layer them up, you can just do the snout. Or you can punch and you can put this is his nostrils and his mouth that you could stamp on top of that. And then this piece down here is for his tail. So you could basically make a whole cow and just stamp a couple things on top of it without really needing the stamp so much. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. So now you can line up your stamps, you just stamp it all, punch it once instead of punching a bunch of different pieces, and you're good to go. Okay, so let's color my favorite thing. My markers. So like I said, we got to make his horns red. So we're using Dark Poppy Parade for that. We're just going to color just a little bit with the Dark Poppy Parade. Okay. That's it. And then we're going to use Dark Smoky Slate and do the little tuft of his hair up here. Little cow hair. There we go. So that's it for his head. And then for down here, we'll use the Dark Smoky Slate for all of his little patches, his tail, and his hooves. I hope you guys learned some good tips on here. I try to share a few things that you'll want to go back into your craft room and go, let me give that a try. Always makes me happy when people come back and say, oh, that was so cool. It's always fun to learn new things and go give them a try. All right, there's his hooves, and then we're gonna do, I think just the hair down here, we're gonna color with the Dark Smoky Slate. And then we've got Dark Fresh Freesia, which I'm pretty sure that's what I used, yeah. The Dark Fresh Freesia here for his tail. And then I usually like to take the little bullet tip here and go around the edges, and then I'll get the brush tip out and color it all in. I noticed a lot of my markers, I need to get new ones. I've used them so much, they're starting to dry out. It's not a bad thing though. Just means they're well loved. So you guys, is there anything you're looking forward to hopefully seeing in the new catalog? I always love hearing what people look for in the catalog. I feel like we all kind of have our little things that we get excited about, and we all look for different things. Oh yeah, this one's, the end's a little funky. I'm actually, don't freak out, but I'm gonna trim this a little bit. It's getting a little fuzzy. So I'm just gonna trim this with my scissors. There we go. They get thrown out eventually, right? So do what you need to with them. Sometimes those ends get a little dull and they can kind of mess things up a little bit. So I like to trim them and sharpen them a little bit so that they're not messing everything up. This is gonna get covered by his head, so I'm not so worried about that. There we go. And then his little head here. We're actually just gonna leave his little snout white, and we're gonna do the rest in the fresh freesia, the dark fresh freesia. I should use my coupons to get some markers, Mom. I'm still debating, I don't know. I placed orders, but I didn't use my coupons yet, so I gotta place another order so I can use my bonus days coupons. And I keep going back and forth on what I want to use it on, but I'll use it. I know I will. Can't let those coupons go. That's smart marketing, I tell you. They know, like Kohl's Cash. You don't want to use that, or you don't want to lose it, so you're going to use it at some point. You know you are. Alrighty, almost there. Just a little bit. And then we'll use this little brush area. And I actually don't color his eye because I want his eye to be white. So I'm just gonna go around his eye so that inside is still white there. Okay. So now we're gonna put our little cow together. So I'm gonna put a little bit of liquid glue on his body right here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of glue in between his horns. I'll put his horns on first. We'll just put them right there. And they just go right behind his head, just like that. Super cute. I love this. And then we're gonna put his little head on his body, just like that. I love that he's winking, like he's got a little joke that he's telling you. All right. And then for this box here, I'm just gonna use some liquid glue real quick. We're gonna glue this down flat on the inside, or on the top there. And then we're gonna put some dimensionals on for him. I don't know where my other dimensional sheet went. That's all right. Hopefully he's dry. I'll just put like 3 dimensionals on. We're almost done, guys, I promise. Been taking longer and longer lately. That's all right. You want to watch this, right? And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give me a little like or a thumbs up. That helps with my channel visibility and kind of makes it a little more well-known on YouTube so other people see it too. So it helps me out a lot when you guys interact with my videos and give me a thumbs up. So there's a little cow, he's so cute. So if you want to do, like I said, you could do a little happy Halloween on the inside. We'll take a little 1/2-inch piece here. And, or was it, I think it was 1/4 inch actually. We'll do a little 1/4 inch. How big was that? Maybe 3/8 of an inch. That's what we'll start with. 3/8. That looks about right. I'm gonna do 3/8. Now, I did little banner ends. I have my retired banners pick a punch. This is basic gray. We're gonna do that Happy Halloween and just put it right there. So you could use the banners pick a punch, or if you just want to be quick about it, which I am sure you guys are sick of watching me at this point, we're just gonna trim this and we'll put a little bit of glue and put it on the inside. But I just love the little message so that when they take all their candy out, it's like, oh, happy Halloween. A little message on the bottom there. Now, I know a lot of times people ask me, oh, is there, room for a gift card? There's no room for a gift card on this one because it's 3x3. I think a gift card is normally 4 inches wide, but you could always put money or little toys in here. Like I said, I might get that little squishmallow for my granddaughter, but I got this bag here. This one has those Hershey's fangs, little Reese's cups, Reese's pumpkins, and the witch's brew. And so I liked the little purple. And so you just want, wherever those flaps are going, you want the little ends of the candy to be going in the opposite direction, if that makes sense here. So we don't want them hitting on those flaps on the side. So we'll put another witch's brew because it's all purple. We want it all to be purple. Anything that's purple on there to match. And we'll put that on there. And then we'll close our little box. Dun da da. How cute is that? Oh my gosh. I love it. All right, guys. Well, I hope, here, let's flip this around now. So I'll talk to you a little bit. You can see my face again. All right. Well, I hope I have given you some awesome inspiration and that you'll look in your craft stash and see what everyday supplies that you can use for your own little Halloween treat boxes. If you give this box a try, let me know. I'd love to see what you make. I love it when people send me emails of their projects that they've been inspired by something that I've made. They share it with me. So definitely let me know. I love hearing from you guys, okay? And don't forget, like I said, give me a little thumbs up or a heart and let me know in the comment below, especially for my replay watchers. I'd love to know what you think about this project, okay? I will be back next week. I have another Halloween project to share with you. This one is going to be really quick and easy. I've already got it in my brain ready to go. I just got to put it down on paper, but it's going to be a little origami treat holder. So stay tuned for that one. I'll see you next week. Okay, guys? And don't forget about my product shares. There's still time to sign up, and hopefully you'll get your catalogs in the mail soon. I'm hoping by next week we'll be talking about catalogs in the mail, okay? All right, guys, well, have a great week, and until next time, be safe and happy stamping. Bye-bye.